Today I want to talk to you about an issue that seems to have gained an awful lot of traction in a relatively short period of time. And in some people's minds, it seems to have almost approached the level of Scripture. It has to be this way. And what I'm talking about is the number of lines on the screen at one time during praise and worship. I have encountered people who insist you cannot have more than 2 lines at a time on the screen. I've had other people tell me not more than 4. And whereas I appreciate their drive towards simplicity in doing that, I'm not sure that's necessary. And honestly, I'm not even sure where that idea came from, to be really candid. I'm guessing that at some point somebody taught it at a conference someplace, and they had tried it, thought it was a good idea, and then other people thought it was a good idea and started to grab onto it. And now it's like the prevailing mindset that it has to be this way. And when I have asked people why they're so vehement about this, most of the time they'll talk about the whole billboard idea. Most billboards, they say, only have 2, maybe 4 lines of text on them. Well, I'd say in general that might be true, but it's certainly not always true. There are lots of examples of billboards that have way more than 2 and certainly even more than 4 lines of text. And so that's not really a good argument. But I think that the main reason that whole billboard thing is not a good argument is because really what we're doing is we're comparing apples to oranges. You know, a billboard is designed to be on the side of the road so that somebody driving 55 miles an hour past it can see it really quickly. That's not the case in our congregation, in our churches. People are standing or sitting in one place and the screen is not moving from where it's at. It's right there. And so to insist that it has to be like a billboard, I don't understand why that would even be a thought process for people. But I will say this, the fewer lines that you have on it, the more on top of it your projection person has to be to make sure that the words are up there, because otherwise you're frustrating people. And I'll be honest, having ministered in hundreds of churches, I have not encountered that many people who are really that good all the time to get it up there that quickly. I have ministered, led people in worship in hundreds of different settings. And I have probably all of those times, at some point during the time of praise and worship, I've used a slide that had more than 4 lines, certainly many more than just 2 lines, but even more than 4. Maybe we've got 5 or 6 lines or whatever. And I have never, in all of those years, had one person even who's come to me and complained because there were too many words on the screen. It just never has happened. And they certainly had the opportunity to, but they have never done it. And I don't think it's as big of an issue as what we're making it out to be. I just don't. And the other thing that I would say, you probably recognize by this point in these videos that I'm a teacher at heart, even though I'm doing this from the worship leader's perspective. I'm a teacher. And so I want to give people the context of what they're singing. If I were to come into a church on Sunday morning and we're doing a song that I don't know, I've never heard this song before, and there's only 2 lines projected at a time, I might be a little reluctant to dive in there because I don't know where this song is going. I'm not sure what's up ahead as far as the lyrics. And you know by this point that I'm very cautious with lyrics and what I say and what I am going to sing or ask people to sing. And so I want them to see the context. So if that means that I have to put up 5 or 6 lines, that's not a problem. If at your church, your rule, maybe laid down by the leadership of the church, the pastor, whatever, says no more than 2 or no more than 4 lines, not a problem. Go ahead and do it. But to insist that other people have to do the same thing, I think that's probably overstating it. And maybe you're seeing the same thing that I am, that maybe it would be better to have a 5th line at times, or maybe even a 6th line, and maybe the leadership doesn't see that. Show them this video. Talk about it afterwards. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. Obviously, you want the words big enough. If the letters aren't big enough for people to see from wherever in the sanctuary, that's going to be an issue. But as long as the words are big enough, I don't see this as being even slightly a problem. And so I want you to just to rethink what does this mean for you, and should you be considering doing it differently than you have in the past? Consider it.
Brought to you by myworshipleadingcoach.com.
Helping you to be more fully equipped as a worship leader.